Bet.
So where do we start?
And
That's crazy, huh?
we have to do this because I ain't gonna see you for a while after this, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Life's gonna go by so fast just now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a wild last, I'd say 2 weeks, for real.
Yeah. YouTube. What's up? It's your boy Jarvis. Once again, back with another video. Today I have a special guest, Christian Strong. And we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to get right into it, man.
Right into the business.
Yeah, we're just going to get right into it.
The juicy stuff.
Yeah, man. Make sure you like the video before you start.
And comment. Honestly, I feel like a lot of this happened after Vienna, after losing that game. You know, losing to the defending champs at home, especially with the rivalry that the Raiders have with them. Like, that's obviously a big thing, a huge game. And to lose how we did, I know I underperformed, and I know that we weren't clicking on offense that day. And then after that, things started to roll. Things started to Tirol. But yeah, honestly, with me, it's just I got my reps pulled, you know, in that week heading up to Barcelona to get that bounce back win. And I specifically had asked and told the coaches that.
Wait, before you get to that, like knowing or seeing his reps get pulled as a receiver, I'm like, hold up, bro, what's going on? So that whole week, I'm like, something's not right. Something's gonna add it up, and I'm like, bro, something don't feel right. Of course, he had that intuition, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We was talking about it the whole week.
But I mean, the reps, like getting pulled, like that happens in football. Like that's not nothing. Like that happens all the time.
But still, it was
just
like
the fact of like I had asked coaches specifically that I was feeling uncomfortable with certain plays and I needed more reps at certain plays because this playbook here is tough. It's complex. There's a lot of intricate details with everything going on, and it's good. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. It can be a bad thing, but you know, I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus. But like, let's just say I really put in I clock in my hours, bro, every single week, and I have notes on notes, and practice is usually good as well. We apply it all, but then come game time, like I don't know, it's like sometimes things just don't click, or sometimes things don't get called, or like sometimes football happens and penalties and this and that, and it just turns into, you know, a tough situation. And in Barcelona, heading up into that game, I remember telling coaches that, hey, I need to get all the reps I can. I can't go into games with only having 2 reps on a play and expecting us to just be perfect at it in the game, when in practice we might not have connected on the play, and then we didn't rep it again or something.
Do it once
so that makes it tough. And then obviously with Barcelona, like it was the first time flying to a game. It was hot. It was hot. I truly think that we have one of the toughest schedules in the league. You know, we're playing teams when like they're at like the verge of like they need that win, or else they're just out of playoffs and they're done. And Barcelona was facing that. Gave everything they had, played a great game, great fast defense, like very good. And I remember even the first half, I made a wrong read on one play, should have stood the running back, and I took a shot by Slade, great player, got clocked, and ended up finding out later that week after we returned that I had 2 cracked ribs that I played with the rest of the game. So that ended up happening. And then this following week...
And that's the thing that no one knows. Like, you played with 2 cracked ribs.
2 cracked ribs, bro. Crazy. But we still won the game.
Jesus.
Went 17-3. Still won the game. It wasn't pretty, but it got it done. Defense has been balling the whole year. Yeah. Like, they really have. They've been balling the whole year. They've been doing their thing for sure. But yeah, and then we go into this past game against Munich, and they didn't pull my reps, which was good. But, you know, having talks with coaches as well, like getting pulled into the office for another week, 2nd week in a row, on the hot seat. Even though we're 5-2, so on the hot seat, just we're not performing, I guess, to his level that he wanted, and doesn't think that I'm a championship caliber quarterback, and thinks that I throw the ball to Jarvis too much when things break down. But naturally, a quarterback that's been with their guy for 10 years is going to gravitate to looking at him when in high, situations where things might break down. So, but yeah, like mentally, it became exhausting to where like, you're throwing out that I throw the ball to Jarvis too much. So that's now going to be in my head of, oh, don't throw it to him or limit that. I'm playing hurt with 2 cracked ribs. And on top of that, I know that there's quarterback out there left and right to replace my job. And like, I physically know of it, like I'm aware of it. They make it known that there's a quarterback ready to take my job. And physically can see it. Let's put it that way as well.
Yeah.
It's like visually in my eyes when I go to work and when I go to the office.
Yeah.
Like it's just there. I'm seeing it and I'm like, damn, like I have to try to block out that noise as well and play a game. And then this week came and I thought we did fairly well against Munich. I thought we had some struggles in the first half.
You doing a lot of talking, bro. Let me talk, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the whole Munich week, I didn't go to the office all week to study the game plan or nothing. I did it all on my own. Like, of course, the coach sent out the script for practice. Before practice starts, I go over that, make sure I know all my assignments, but I wasn't messing with the vibes in the office because how they were treating it, how they were treating the situation with Christian, and I just didn't like it as an American import when Christian's ran for over 10 years. It's like, bruh, y'all gonna really do him like that and think I'm just gonna be cool with it? Like, nah. So I feel like the coaches knew that I was kind of off and stuff for the past 2 weeks because I haven't been showing the meetings in the office. During the meetings, I'm just sitting there like this, like, why am I here right now? Like, I was mentally checked out from 2 weeks ago. So this is not anything like, I don't know. It's just, I didn't like the way they handled the situation. So that's why I did what I did.
But no, you're right. Yeah. And I can see, like, I've known this guy for so long, so I can see he's mentally checked out. Yeah. And like, it's been a grind. And I kid you not, 8 weeks straight of football in a tough conference every single week. It's a grind, especially when you're in a program where everything is so honestly complex and sometimes too overcomplicated to make for football sometimes. Where it should just be a little bit easier. Yeah. When we keep it simple, we roll, but
legit.
Tirol.
And it's like being here is one of the hardest camps I ever experienced in my life. Like, been to college for 4.5 years, and college camps don't even compare to what's going on here, bro. Like,
but yeah, so the Munich game came, and I swallowed my pride. The past 2 weeks, like with literally having like blatant, I don't want to say disrespect, but like just blatant situations to make me feel uncomfortable or awkward. With whether it was meetings or whatever, practice, this and that, but just how they were dealing with the situation, the lack of communication, I felt like as well, where it's just like, you let me know 2 weeks prior that, hey, my job's in line, I can get cut at any minute, and yet you're not supporting me, being behind me and trying to be, hey, you got this, encouraging and being positive, and instead they were like adding little things here and there, pulling reps, bringing in a guy, talking about emergency quarterbacks, this and that. And it just like made me more like, dang, like y'all are really about to go through with it almost. Like, how do you want me to show more trust in myself and positivity when it's like y'all don't even believe in me at a point. Yeah. But yeah, the Munich game came. We killed it on the first drive, and even had a few good other drives. Situations happened in the football game. We were down at half, and then after halftime, we had talks with our coaches and stuff. We went back out, and we got the win at the end of the day. I thought it was a good win for the team. 25-24. It was a tough game. Defense really played amazing in the second half. Got a turnover for a touchdown with the pick six, and just really kept us in the game. But that last drive, we needed a touchdown, and we drove the field with nice, things, dots here and there, throws here and there, and got the job done. And I thought we spread the ball around very well too, and I really thought that we actually were really starting to click now on offense. I think, coaches were good with being patient at least till week 8 for the offense to finally start clicking, but, not every game was going to be like the Munich game the first time when we dropped 59.
That's what I'm saying.
And we were still winning games, and they act sometimes like teams that we lost to weren't good. Like Stuttgart was still a good team, and we know the difficulty with Stuttgart. You want to talk about that or not?
Yeah, for the people who don't know, well, y'all don't know, the Stuttgart game, I was sick. I should have never played the game. I think I probably posted it on my YouTube post probably, 3 weeks ago, that I was sick the whole game. I had sinusitis. I should never play it. I was on antibiotics and stuff like that. So the whole game, I'm out there loopy. I don't know what was going on. I'm just a body on the field, basically. So I feel like I probably put the team in jeopardy. I mean, but that's the American in me, you know what I'm saying? You always, if you're sick, you're always still like, hey, you're not sick, you're fine, go in there. Are you injured or hurt, basically, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that Stuttgart game, I wouldn't say that's why we lost, but it is a big factor in why we lost.
And then also just seeing like one of your close teammates, Sandro, go down in that game was a big momentum swing as well with the injury that he suffered. And, you know, let's say it again, defense they held their own and allowed us to stay in that whole game, and offense didn't pull through. But that was only the first loss. And then Vienna losing now was a defending champion, and they're a good team.
Great team, bro.
Great team, and very sound on defense, very sound on offense. Like, you can't make mistakes against them or else it's going to get out of hand early.
Quick.
And we did, and, you know, I take blame. It just felt like, you know, after that, it truly felt like deep down, and I know Corvus can vouch for this, but you kind of just, you can read the room, especially when you're an older quarterback. You know, I've been playing this game now for so long, I'm 28. It's like my 5th year now overseas. I can read the room when something's going wrong, and it just felt like from there, they started to stop believing in me, and, you know, like, it was tough. I had to just fight through it, swallow my pride, still show up to work every day, trying to learn, trying to grow, trying to get better. And at the end of the day, we were still winning.
Still winning.
Still winning.
Like, we lost to Vienna, and they act like we lost a Super Bowl or something. Like, they act like the season was over just because
we were hovering over that loss and over that week till like Thursday in the week.
There's no sense.
And then we went into Barcelona, heading on a trip, knowing that there's still so much resentment after that game, and just like we never moved on from it. And, you know, that I get, the Raiders have a big tradition here, and they have their ways, and, you know, whether the ways that they run the ship is right or not, I'm not one to tell. It's worked in the AFL, you know, but having new players this year under this system as well could have been handled a bit differently. It's very new, you know, it's a learning curve to have a new quarterback and take over a legend like Sean, who, let's be honest, he was a dog, a 6-year vet, you know, who could get out of bad calls here and there and get them into good situations. And, you know, for a new quarterback, that is tougher when I'm trying to already dissolve the base play as it is, and then to have to check it out of different things with different looks and different fronts was a tougher thing I had to adapt to. I would say I definitely grew in that aspect from week 1 to now. But I don't know, it just, well, how do you feel? Like, I just feel like the scripts changed a lot every week, and we never could really get into a true identity, it felt like, and we're going into week 9 now. Yeah,
like, scripts changed every week. I mean, you're going 1 week by bet. I got it down next week. Nah, whole different script. I mean, that's something I struggle with, like learning this offensive playbook. It's tough, like, because I didn't know where I was going to play when I first came here. He said I was going to be everywhere on the field, so I'm like, I bet. So I'm watching huddle, but not knowing what I'm looking for. I'm not comprehending anything. I'm just looking at the screen, just like, man, like, all right. Then getting here, I'm just thrown in the fire. Still practicing plays 1 rep at a time, you know what I'm saying? But it's like only 1 time. It's crazy. But yeah, so we had our exit meetings today, I guess.
Yeah, so after the game now, so we got the win. Yeah. And, you know, the next day came and got a message from the GM. Yeah. He pulled me into the office and just, you know, was straightforward. We're gonna release you today. It's all performance based. I didn't say much about it. You know, I didn't really fight because, like, they had made their decision, and it felt like they had known about this decision now for about 2 weeks, I'd say. And, you know, I ended up even getting the answer that even if I went off for 500 yards yesterday and 5 touchdowns or 6 or whatever, I would have went off crazy, I still would have got cut today, which really irritated me because, you know, like I said, I played with 2 cracked ribs yesterday.
It's crazy, bro.
On Friday, I got diagnosed with it. So they heard from Barcelona, but never really saw they were bruised. I went Friday just to get, you know what, let me get an ultrasound really quick. And then and we had getting diagnosed with 2 of them. Got 2 injections before the game, and yeah, and still try to put the team in the right situation to win that game, which I think we did with that game-winning drive, but it wasn't good enough for them. They have high expectations, and they don't think that they can win a championship with me at quarterback. So once they said that, they've obviously had their decision made, and I respected it. We shook hands and signed the paper and went our ways.
Yeah, and then for me, my meeting was more of me actually taking charge and saying, how could you cut a 6-2 quarterback? Like, we're legit a playoff team. Why would you do that? Like, is the team going to be okay with y'all finding a new quarterback? And I know I wasn't going to be okay with it, so I was like, I bet there's no point in me staying here. If y'all get a new quarterback, I'm out. So that was the whole reason why I left. I mean, a lot of people have been hitting me up on Instagram and stuff saying I did good, blah, blah, blah. They would have done the same thing, but everyone has their own story. I didn't do this because Christian left. He didn't tell me to do this. I just felt like it wasn't right, the way they handled it.
I need to let it known as well, like, I had told Jarvis, like, this guy's my brother, gonna be my future best man at my wedding when that day comes. And I told him, I said, you don't have to leave if you don't want to. Like, don't make my story become your story type thing. Like, they released me. They didn't release him. They want him. They wanted him.
Yeah.
But he chose to leave, and he chose to part ways, But the thing I do know with Jarvis is he is a man of his word. When he's made up on a decision, he's made up on it. And it's going to take a lot for him to get out of that decision. And they haven't really fought for him to stay here. You would think that a certain coach might call you after everything going on, and it hasn't even reached out yet. It is what it is. At this point, it's a business. It is cutthroat. I understand that completely, and I'm not here to make any excuses or any hate. At the end of the day, can't go back. You have to live with what happened. But they also have a tough stretch ahead of them, and to make that decision going into week 9 is tough. And you have to really be ballsy with that decision, because it could either make or break a team. And I even told them in my interview, in my exit today, I said, like, I don't wish ill will on them. I don't wish any bad blood on them. I still hope they go all the way. I hope they can do it, because I still have teammates that blood, sweat, and tears grinded out with them throughout 2 days.
Yeah, bro.
So many weekends in camp, but the way that they did handle the situation, and with me, I will say was tough. And guys would say, "Oh, well, that happens left and right in the NFL and this and that," but this isn't the NFL.
It's not the league, right?
It's not the league. Hey, if you want to say, "Oh, it's like the NFL," that happens all the time. But also in the NFL, when quarterbacks get that win, they stick and they stay, because wins are very hard to come by in the league. And they can say, "Oh, well, defense won us games." Yeah, defense did win us games this year, but we still had to score some points at least. It's a tough situation, but I honestly don't think that we were the chosen ones to even be here in the first place. We were late in the recruiting. Coaches liked us, GM didn't. Let's be real. And I felt like he was just waiting at his chance to just get rid of me, especially at the right time. And then he just didn't fight for this one here. So, but Mcclam can't be replaced. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Can't be replaced, man. He's too good. He's too good. He's deadly.
All right, so the reason why I'm leaving and staying with Christian, or being loyal to Christian, was the agreement before was there was recruiting an athlete who could do everything, who can catch the ball in the perimeter, out the backfield, do kick returns, punt returns, and I was that guy. So they hit me up, they liked my film. It was like, "Hey, I think you'd be a great fit for us." I'm like, "All right, so who's the quarterback going to be?" It was like, "I don't know yet." So I was like, "Hey, my boy Christian, like, if you get Christian, you get me." So I'm basically telling them, "Hey, if you get Christian, you got me all the way. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it." Like, so they called us. We was in Florida at a XFL tryout.
Yeah.
So they called Christian. They talked to him. I guess they liked his film at the time.
Yeah.
They said they thought they can make it work. I was like, "I bet we can do this. You guys have rhythm. They know each other. They can
like good chemistry.
Yeah, good chemistry. You know what I'm saying? And who wouldn't take chemistry over? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Chemistry
goes such a long way in football.
Yeah. So the agreement was, you get Christian, you get me, and I felt like they just broke the gentleman's agreement that we had. And I'm big on my words. I'm big on loyalty. If I say something, I'm going to do it, and I mean it, and I'm gonna stick by it. So, like I said, for the past 2 weeks, I've been telling Christian, I'm not going to the office. I'm checked out. I'm done, bro. Like, you can go to the office all you want, but I'm not. I was legit telling him, don't go.
Yeah.
But that's the type of person he is. He's just gonna stick it all the way through the end, you know what I'm saying, and just do it. But for me, I'm like, bro, I can't do this no more, bro. So.
But honestly, if I didn't go either, I wouldn't know what we're doing in the game. Like I said, like it's not the same stuff every week. They try to not have any tendencies in this offense, but I understand. But sometimes sticking to what we know each week is good too. But I was signed to a 2-year here for the Raiders. They needed a guy to sign 2 years for. So take that in. So knowing that they don't want to wait around for me to even develop for the second year. Like they're all in this year. But like if you sign a quarterback to a 2-year, usually you're telling that quarterback that right off the bat, say, oh, we have time to mold you. We have time to let you grow. But realistically, we didn't have time to let me grow in this offense. It was now or never type thing. Which now that I think about it, that even puts even more pressure, on my shoulders. But I wanted to go all the way to championship. I wanted to see it all the way through, even to play a full season. Now that it's not happening, like it is what it is. It's in God's hands. But totally content and satisfied with everything I've done with football and all the places I've gone, all the people I've met. Overseas football has been amazing and has literally helped even mold me into more of the man I am today. So for all those guys that are young and don't make NFL, CFL, now you have more leagues, USFL, XFL, which is nice. AFL is coming back. You can always go overseas. It's a great time, great film that you can get, and it is competitive football. It is. And I think sometimes just finding the right system is huge too.
It's just finding the system that matches your playing style. That's it.
That's everything. Because honestly, let's be real. When we were in Cologne, we clicked. Yeah, we clicked. And honestly,
we ran the offense.
We ran the offense, and like here in this offense, we don't have a voice. Like we just go with the flow. We go with whatever happens, and like whatever goes. And it's like they have their certain ways, which we understand. But yeah, in Cologne, like we were able to click so well. I feel like because we had the trust from our head coach too, like complete trust from Coach to do everything and do it how we needed to do it. And like, let's be real, like, we didn't have to, even as close as a talented team as we have here, and we still made the semifinals and everything.
Yeah, man. So that's why we're leaving. If you guys stayed for this long of the video, thank you. I appreciate it. There's going to be more videos soon. I may go in detail later once I'm back at home, but I don't know if I'm going to be going home yet, or when I'm gonna go home, or what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna continue playing football. But give this a video a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, also subscribe to the channel. Hopefully there'll be more football vlogs soon. But yeah, peace.
God bless.
It's not a family, it's a business. Let's keep it real. Whether it's a good or bad business, time will tell.